gives you the power to live a life entire of inner freedom, respect, and tranquility. It's an act of self-love. Number 13. Remember, you control your reactions. Imagine yourself in a violent storm, with the waves smashing around you and the wind ripping. Although the storm's wrath is beyond your control, you can choose to handle it. This potent analogy captures the spirit of the 13th Stoic tactic: to remember that you are in charge of your responses and not the events around you. The Stoics remind us that real strength comes from dominating our inner world rather than exerting force over the outside world. Epictetus states, "It is a shame for the soul to depend on the body for satisfaction. We gain inner calm despite life's storms by concentrating on our reactions, which we can control." Here's how you develop this superpower of Stoicism. Determine what triggers you. Recognize your emotional terrain. Think briefly about the circumstances or activities that usually make you feel bad. Are there some phrases, deeds, or people that get under your skin? The first step in controlling these triggers is acknowledging them. Take a moment to breathe. Make room between the stimulus and the response. Decide to wait before acting on impulse. Inhale deeply and give yourself space to observe and evaluate the circumstances quietly. This gives you room to make deliberate decisions and keeps your emotions from controlling what you do. Shift your viewpoint. Change the perspective, not the facts. Our reactions are frequently influenced more by how we interpret situations than their actual occurrence. Examine other viewpoints and confront your automatic beliefs. Can this situation be solved? What good things are you able to concentrate on? Select your reaction carefully. React, don't react. After you've collected yourself and adjusted your viewpoint, consider your options carefully before responding. Does it help you to react with rage or frustration? Would be bad techniques. Have you ever been in a heated argument, feeling like you're about to explode? We've all been there, whether it's a disagreement in the office, a fight with a loved one, or a heated debate online. But what if I told you there was a way to navigate conflict without using fists, figuratively or literally? The ancient Stoics, masters of emotional control and reason, have incredible strategies for facing your enemy with grace and poise. In this video, you'll discover 13 Stoic-inspired techniques to tackle conflict head-on, drawn from the wisdom of great thinkers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. Trust me, these methods may require more patience and effort than throwing punches, but the rewards, inner peace, long-lasting solutions, and potentially transformed relationships are well worth the effort. So, are you ready to learn how to navigate conflict like a true Stoic? Remember to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can see all of the videos on facing life's challenges with the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Remember, your most significant victory lies not in external battles, but in mastering your mind and heart. Number 1. Delve into the depths of your adversary. Say you are at the edge of a furious river, the rapids foaming and churning with rage. A prudent Stoic would stop before diving in, and his eyes focused on the invisible depths below rather than the churning surface. Entering your opponent's mind is the crux of the first Stoic tactic, to put it metaphorically. The intensity of the situation makes it tempting to act quickly. However, proper comprehension requires putting aside judgment and looking above the apparent surface of the issue, as Epictetus reminds us when he says, "It is not the event itself that troubles us, but our view of it." Here's how to start this examination of Stoicism. The benefits of releasing. Step away from the present. Inhale deeply, mentally pan out, and examine the circumstances with dispassionate interest. Put yourself as a fly on the wall and observe the exchange objectively. This emotional separation enables more in-depth observation and more logical reasoning. Investigate their why. Pose sincere queries. Rather than coming up with counter-arguments, concentrate on learning the why underlying their statements and behaviors. What drives them? What worries them? And what do they want? What life events have influenced their viewpoint? Important insights can be gleaned by asking open-ended questions such as, what brought you to this point? Or what are your underlying concerns? Examine through their lens. Not agreement, but empathy. Try to put yourself in their position to comprehend their perspective, not to support their behavior. How might they perceive the circumstances? What principles and convictions motivate them? This activity aims to develop empathy, discover possible points of agreement, and experience the world through their eyes rather than agree with them. Look for the secret riverbed. Examine what's beneath the surface. Conflict frequently results from deeper problems like unfulfilled desires, fears, or injuries from the past. Consider looking past the current argument and pinpointing the underlying issues causing the conflict. What wants need to be fulfilled? Which fears are surfacing? Recall that this is a search for understanding rather than approving their behavior. Your objective is to comprehend the layers of experience and perspective that influence the acts of your opponent, just like a geologist studies the layers of rock to understand the terrain. You can find undiscovered common ground by practicing this stoic depth-seeking technique, and you might also learn important things about yourself and your responses. The once raging river will become a calmer stream, with understanding and potential resolution engraved in its stones. Number 2. Choose your battles wisely. Disagreements abound in life, ranging from political arguments to arguments in parking lots. However, as the Stoics tell us, only some stones in the path require our whole focus. Getting involved in every dispute, no matter how minor, can wear us out emotionally. Thus, the second Stoic tactic urges us to pick our battles carefully. Picture yourself in front of a vast battleground. Every argument and point of contention has the potential to become a conflict. A prudent Stoic would pause, evaluating each terrain carefully before leaping into the fight. Is the battle worth it in this skirmish? Will it affect my health or the essential things to me? The following tenets of Stoic philosophy will assist you in selecting your battles. The Seneca test. Pause and consider. Consider. Seneca's wise words, the greatest remedy for anger is delay. Remind yourself of the importance of pausing. Take a moment to calm down before responding automatically. Take a step back and evaluate the circumstances objectively. It's common for the heat of the moment to warp our perception, making prudent decisions challenging. Is the Epictetus inquiry still important? Consider the following crucial question for yourself. It is not the event itself that troubles us, but our view of it. Epictetus said, is there a genuine impact this debate is having on your morals, well-being, or something important in your life? Or is it just a tiny irritation, a stone in the road instead of a mountain to be conquered? By concentrating your efforts on genuinely significant matters, you can address them with greater effectiveness and focus. The Marcus Aurelius principle. Quiet can be beneficial at times. Acknowledge the power of letting go. Not deciding at all is often the best course of action. According to Marcus Aurelius, it is often enough to hold your tongue and let things pass simply. Ignoring small slights or deciding against getting into pointless arguments can be incredibly self-controlling ways to maintain your inner calm. The cost-benefit analysis of Stoicism. Analyze the advantages and disadvantages. Every conflict has a price regarding mental effort and possible outcomes. Compare the likely emotional costs of losing the disagreement with the potential rewards of winning. Is the cost of triumph justified? The purest kind of strength is sometimes knowing when to give up with dignity. Recall, selecting your battles strategically does not imply weakness or indifference. It's about realizing how limited your time and energy are and using them wisely. By applying this stoic knowledge, you may navigate life's battlefield more focused and save your strength for the moments that matter. Number 3. Speak with calm and clarity. Imagine yourself facing your opponent with your words prepared for war rather than your weapons drawn. However, the Stoic approach emphasizes calm clarity, which opens the door to a more constructive discourse instead of shouting insults and accusations. This tactic, which draws from the insight of Stoic thinkers such as Seneca, is centered on adequately expressing your demands and concerns to promote understanding and reduce hostility. The following are the main components of communication that draw inspiration from Stoicism. Develop your active listening skills. Go beyond simply waiting to speak. Pay close attention to what your opponent says before offering your own. Please pay close attention to them, both with words and body language. Don't interrupt, nod intelligently, and maintain eye contact. This shows that you appreciate them and understand what they're saying. Respect their emotions and validate their experiences. Empathy, not agreement. Respect their feelings and experiences, even if you disagree. Statements like, "I understand you're feeling frustrated," or "It sounds like this situation is important to you," can help establish rapport and connect. Raise any
Have you ever pondered the world where childhood innocence
you may
is
have with
stripped
I
away,
statements.
traded for menial
Consider
labor,
your
and
viewpoint
education
instead of
is but a
placing
dream?
blame. Use I
This was the
words to
stark
communicate
reality
your
for many
needs and
children in
feelings
regions of Rwanda.
rather than critical
However,
you
a beacon of hope
statements.
emerged from the
You
darkness,
always
a
do
partnership
this.
between World Vision
Examples
and the
of such
Rwanda
statements
Extractive
include,
Industry Workers
"I
Union.
need to feel respected
This campaign
in this
aimed to
situation,
rekindle the
and I
extinguished
feel
light of
hurt when
education,
you..."
abandon the quest for knowledge, instead toiling in laborious tasks. A grim picture indeed. Yet the campaign was not daunted. Armed with unwavering determination and a strong belief in the power of education, they set out to change this narrative. The journey was not easy. It demanded patience, resilience, and an immense amount of courage to stand against deeply ingrained societal norms. The campaign focused on reintegrating children into schools, a task easier said than done. It required convincing parents of the importance of education and the detrimental effects of child labor. It was a meticulous process of educating not only the children but their parents as well on the importance of reproductive health and children's rights. The campaign's success did not come overnight. It took time, effort, and persistence. But the fruits of this labor were sweet indeed. Today, we see children from those very regions, once exploited, now thriving in the classrooms. Their eyes sparkle with the joy of learning, their hearts beat with the rhythm of hope. The campaign also empowered the community, equipped them with knowledge, and increased their capacity to report cases of child exploitation. It sparked a transformation, a shift in the mindset of the community. The campaign instilled an awareness of children's rights, a concept previously overlooked. The achievements of this campaign are not just numerical figures on a sheet. They are the smiles on the faces of children, the relief in the eyes of parents, and the stronger, more educated community that stands today. It is the promise of a brighter future, the assurance of a world where every child has the right to education, and the conviction that child exploitation has no place in our society. In conclusion, the partnership between World Vision and the Rwanda Extractive Industry Workers Union has sown the seeds of change. It has illuminated the path towards a world where education is not a privilege, but a right. It has demonstrated that even in the face of adversity, change is possible. So, here's to the campaign that turned the tide. Here's to the dawn of a new era where children are not exploited but educated. Here's to a future where every child can dream, learn, and thrive.
Have you ever pondered the role of women in the extractive industries? It's a subject that's not often addressed, yet it holds a wealth of untold stories. In the annals of history, women in these sectors were often confined to the sidelines, their potential untapped due to societal norms and prejudices. Mining, as we know, was seen as a man's world, a world of grit and grime, not suitable for women. But as the pages of time turned, so did the narrative. Women stepped forward, breaking the chains of convention, and ventured into the extractive industries. They were no longer mere spectators, but active participants, contributing to the growth and development of the industry. They shattered the proverbial glass ceilings, proving that they too could thrive in the world of mining and extraction. Their journey, however, has not been without its challenges. From battling societal biases to fighting for equal rights, it has been a daunting road. Yet, there are some entities that has been instrumental in championing the cause of women in this industry. One of them, the Rwanda Extractive Industry Workers Union. The trade union of the mining workers in Rwanda has been on the forefront in advocating for women's rights in the extractive industry. The organization's remarkable advocacy initiatives have made significant strides towards inclusivity and empowerment. Let's delve a little deeper into these efforts. Take, for instance, the establishment of early childhood development centers at workplaces. This initiative has been pivotal in addressing the unique challenges faced by working mothers. Moving on, the Rwanda Extractive Industry Workers Union has also advocated for the enrollment of women in mining education by encouraging them to join the career. This has not only opened doors for women in this industry, but has also equipped them with the necessary skills and knowledge to excel. Furthermore, the union has championed for the recognition of prior learning. This initiative empowers not only women but also men by acknowledging their past experiences and skills, giving them the confidence to stay and prosper in the industry. But the organization's efforts don't just stop there. They've also been actively advocating for women's rights and safety at the workplace and pushing for their inclusion in decision-making roles within mining companies. By doing so, they are breaking down barriers and challenging the status quo. These initiatives, among many others, such as the fight against child labor and the promotion of children's rights, have not only given women confidence to stay assured on their well-being, but have also created an environment that supports their growth and development. The strides made by women in the extractive industry are remarkable. The landscape has dramatically shifted, moving women from the sidelines to the heart of operations. This shift is not just about numbers, but about the quality of roles that women are now occupying. The extractive industry, once a male-dominated sector, is now becoming more balanced with the increasing representation of women in key decision-making roles. This development has not only changed the industry's landscape, but also fueled a paradigm shift in how operations are conducted. The establishment of early childhood development centers at workplaces, the enrollment of women in mining education, and the recognition of prior learning have all been instrumental in this transformation. These initiatives are not only empowering women with the knowledge and skills they need, but they're also instilling in them the confidence to stay and thrive in the industry. Promoting women's rights and safety at the workplace is another significant stride. Have you ever pondered the role of women in the extractive industries? It's a subject that's not often addressed, yet it holds a wealth of untold stories. In the annals of history, women in these sectors were often confined to the sidelines, their potential untapped due to societal norms and prejudices. Mining, as we know, was seen as a man's world, a world of grit and grime, not suitable for women. But as the pages of time turned, so did the narrative. Women stepped forward, breaking the chains of convention, and ventured into the extractive industries. They were no longer mere spectators, but active participants, contributing to the growth and development of the industry. They shattered the proverbial glass ceiling. Have you ever pondered the role of women in the extractive industries? It's a subject that's not often addressed, yet it holds a wealth of untold stories. In the annals of history, women in these... Have you ever pondered the role of women? Have you ever pondered the role of women in the extractive industries? It's a subject that's not often addressed, yet it holds a wealth. Have you ever Have you ever pondered the role of women in the extractive industries? It's a subject that's not often addressed, yet it holds a wealth of untold stories. In the annals of history, women in these sectors were often confined to the sidelines, their potential untapped due to societal norms and prejudices. Mining, as we know, was seen as a man's world, a world of grit and grime, not suitable for women. But as the pages of time turned, so did the narrative. Women stepped forward, breaking the chains of convention, and ventured into the extractive industries. They were no longer mere spectators, but active participants, contributing to the growth and development of the industry. They shattered the proverbial glass ceilings, proving that they too could thrive in the world of mining and extraction. Their journey, however, has not been without its challenges. From battling societal biases to fighting for equal rights, it has been a daunting road. Yet, there are some entities that has been instrumental in championing the cause of women in this industry. One of them, the Rwanda Extractive Industry Workers Union. The trade union of the mining workers in Rwanda has been on the forefront in advocating for women's rights in the extractive industry. The organization's remarkable advocacy initiatives have made significant strides towards inclusivity and empowerment. Let's delve a little deeper into these efforts. Take, for instance, the establishment of early childhood development centers at workplaces. This initiative has been pivotal in addressing the unique challenges faced by working mothers. Moving on, the Rwanda Extractive Industry Workers Union has also advocated for the enrollment of women in mining education by encouraging them to join the career. This has not only opened doors for women in this industry, but has also equipped them with the necessary skills and knowledge to excel. Furthermore, the union has championed for the recognition of prior learning. This initiative empowers not only women but also men by acknowledging their past experiences and skills, giving them the confidence to stay and prosper in the industry. But the organization's efforts don't just stop there. They've also been actively advocating for women's rights and safety at the workplace and pushing for their inclusion in decision-making roles within mining companies. By doing so, they are breaking down barriers and challenging the status quo. These initiatives, among many others, such as the fight against child labor and the promotion of children's rights, have not only given women confidence to stay assured on their well-being, but have also created an environment that supports their growth and development. The strides made by women in the extractive industry are remarkable. The landscape has dramatically shifted, moving women from the sidelines to the heart of operations. This shift is not just about numbers, but about the quality of roles that women are now occupying. The extractive industry, once a male-dominated sector, is now becoming more balanced with the increasing representation of women in key decision-making roles. This development has not only changed the industry's landscape, but also fueled a paradigm shift in how operations are conducted. The establishment of early childhood development centers at workplaces, the enrollment of women in mining education, and the recognition of prior learning have all been instrumental in this transformation. These initiatives are not only empowering women with the knowledge and skills they need, but they're also instilling in them the confidence to stay and thrive in the industry. Promoting women's rights and safety at the workplace is another significant stride. The emphasis on these aspects is fostering a conducive and secure environment for women, a factor that's key in retaining and attracting more women to the industry. As we celebrate the International Women's Day, we commend the Rwanda Extractive Industry Workers Union for its role in this transformative journey. The future looks promising, and as more women join and excel in the extractive industry, we can only expect a richer, more inclusive sector.
and promotes a more team-oriented approach to problem solving. Speak firmly and calmly rather than aggressively. Control, not noise, makes one strong. Speak up to ensure you understand, not because you're angry. Maintain a composed tone while speaking with strength and assurance. Steer clear of insults and personal assaults. They will only make the issue worse. Put solving problems first, not points. Seek solutions rather than victories. Remember that the objective is to devise a solution that benefits both of you, not to win the disagreement. Start the discussion with a question like, "What can we do to address this together?" and center it around cooperative problem solving. And how can we reach a mutually agreeable outcome? Recall that practicing calm, clear speech is a necessary skill. If you make a mistake, don't be scared to apologize and have patience with yourself. Navigating even the most difficult tasks will get easier the more positive communication you engage in. Number 4. Seek the shared path. Imagine a pair of alpinists ascending seemingly distinct peaks. However, as they climb, they become aware that their respective paths converge and lead to a shared summit where understanding will shine. This metaphor is especially pertinent to the 4th tactic on our non-confrontational journey, seeking the shared road. It represents the Stoic concept of oikonomia, living in harmony with the natural order. Even though disagreement frequently gives the impression that our ideals or ambitions are incompatible, the Stoics encourage us to look below the surface and discover the deeper currents that bind us. Even though they might not appear necessary at first, by concentrating on these common interests, we can create a framework for cooperation and compromise that will eventually result in a more amicable settlement. To start your Stoic search for common ground, follow these steps. Change perspective. From me to we, transcend individual viewpoints. Recast the disagreement as a cooperative effort toward a common objective rather than a you vs me situation. Consider this. What do we both ultimately want? This change in viewpoint allows for possible points of agreement, even if they are not immediately apparent. Look for the necessities below. Look below the surface. Conflicting wants are frequently the result of underlying, unfulfilled needs. Examine the needs each of you is attempting to satisfy through this conflict. It could be a need for safety, honor, or approval. Recognizing these everyday needs can foster empathy and make discovering solutions that care for them more accessible. Discover shared ideas. Our values guide our actions. Look behind the particular problem at hand and investigate the core principles that everyone possesses. Do you both appreciate honesty, justice, or decency? Shared values can act as a moral compass, pointing you toward decisions consistent with your beliefs. Begin small, gain speed. Appreciate small victories. Don't count on reaching a consensus right away on everything.
Have you ever pondered the role of women in the extractive industry?
Concentrate on finding
It's a subject that's not often addressed, yet it holds a wealth of untold stories. In the annals of history, women in these sectors were often confined to the sidelines, their potential untapped due to societal norms and prejudices. Mining, as we know, was seen as a man's world, a world of grit and grime, not suitable for women. But as the pages of
so be patient and
so did the narrative. Women stepped forward, breaking the chains of convention, and ventured into the extractive industries. They were no longer mere spectators, but active participants, contributing to the growth and development of the industry. They shattered the proverbial glass ceilings, proving that they too could thrive in the world of mining and extraction. Their journey, however, has not been without its challenges. From battling societal biases to fighting for equal rights,
guided by the light of shared ideals and interests, will reach the height of understanding. Number 5. Appeal to their inner values. Imagine yourself before a massive oak tree, its roots firmly entwined with the soil. It will take more than just raw force to move the oak. On the other hand, a prudent Stoic would be aware of the influence of the elements, such as wind and water, which might subtly nudge something toward its ideals by whispering in its ear. This metaphor exemplifies the Stoic tactic of appealing to inner ideals, a potent instrument for skillfully and peacefully resolving disputes. We direct our attention to the rich soil of their values and ideas, rather than taking direct aim at their persona. Understanding and respecting their inner compass can produce solutions consistent with their fundamental beliefs. This will eventually result in more sincere buy-in and long-lasting agreements. To start your Stoic journey towards value-driven persuasion, follow these steps. Expose the value landscape. Develop into a valuable archaeologist by conducting research before formulating your case. What principles do they adhere to? What values direct their behavior? Keep an eye on what they say and do, and note what they affirm, deny, and laud. This facilitates creating a map of their valuescape by pointing out possible connections. Close the value divide. Identify the common theme. Avoid assuming their values are completely at odds with yours. Seek out common ideals, even if they don't seem to fit the circumstances at hand. You both appreciate duty, honesty, and fairness. Finding these common values acts as a link, enabling you to present your case in a way that appeals to them. Talk in their vocabulary. After you clearly understand their values, adjust your message to fit them, rather than trying to trick them. Talk in a way that expresses their interests and worries. This is telling your values in a way that is consistent with theirs, creating a sense of common ground rather than compromising your own. Don't just tell, show. Since deeds speak louder than words, show them how your solution embodies their beliefs rather than merely explaining them. Give specific instances, anecdotes, or previous deeds, demonstrating how your strategy embodies the essential principles. This strengthens and humanizes your case. Recall that respect is essential. Seek comprehension rather than dominance. Always be respectful and understanding during this process. Recall that your objective is to assist them in finding a solution that addresses your concerns and aligns with their values rather than to control or exert dominance over them. Using this Stoic technique, you become a competent navigator instead of a warrior brandishing words, leading your adversary to a place they can genuinely believe in. Recall that fundamental transformation arises from resonance with the values that sculpt an individual's identity rather than from coercion. This strategy develops mutual respect and understanding, and in the end, opens the door to advantageous solutions for all parties. Number 6. Using humor wisely in conflict resolution. Imagine yourself walking a tightrope that is stretched over a gaping hole. A mistake can send you into the depths of offense, yet humor can help you stay upright like a balancing pole. Using humor to resolve conflicts is the essence of the 6th Stoic technique, encapsulated in this nuanced metaphor. There is no denying that laughter can reduce tension and foster a more open atmosphere for discussion. A well-timed joke or playful demeanor can serve as a pressure release valve, allowing understanding to flourish and letting go of pent-up frustration. The Stoic philosopher Seneca says, "A joke is a fragile thing, and a jest may turn into an insult." We must use comedy with deliberate caution to fully realize its possibilities. Here are some guidelines to help you smoothly navigate the comedic tightrope. Recognize your audience. Only some find the same things funny, so consider your opponent's humor style and personality before you crack a joke. What amuses them in their opinion? Which subjects could be delicate? Be cautious and err on caution while making jokes, because something that plays well with one person may offend another. Seek out silent joy, not horniness, laughing at, not with. Creating a shared sense of humor is the aim, not using jokes as a tool to make fun of or denigrate your opponent. Humor that belittles oneself is frequently a safer bet, since it demonstrates humility and a readiness to own up to mistakes. The timing is crucial. After reading the room, reread it. Humor can have disastrous results when misused. Before bringing in comedy, assess the situation's emotional intensity. It's better to wait until things have settled down if the tension is still muscular. Maintain calm and kindness. Keep insults and sarcasm at the door. Steer clear of jokes that make light of sensitive subjects, stereotypes, or personal assaults. Recall that building bridges, not burning them, is the aim. Comedy as an instrument, not a crutch. Please don't rely on comedy alone to end the argument. Although humor can be a helpful tool, it shouldn't replace sincere communication or dealing with critical issues. Don't expect it to be the miraculous fix. Use it sparingly to promote openness and lighten the atmosphere. Always err on the side of caution when in doubt. It's better to avoid jokes entirely to determine whether they're appropriate. Recall that it's simpler to gain trust than to regain it following an error, including comedy. Using these Stoic ideas, comedy may become an effective tool for rapport building, stress relief, and opening up more excellent room for conflict resolution rather than a dangerous tightrope walk. Recall that the power of laughter is in its capacity to unite rather than divide. When used appropriately, it can turn tense situations into chances for understanding and resolution. This might shock you. Number 7. Offer empathy. Picture yourself on a rough mountain trail, staring over a gap at a fellow climber who seems to be going the other way. Their annoyance and rage crackle through the valley like a windstorm. Instead of hurling arguments across the vacuum, the Stoic approach would be to descend gradually, bridge the gap, and extend an understanding hand. This is the core of the 7th strategy, the Stoic principle of expressing empathy. Empathy is a valuable tool for resolving conflicts amicably, even during heated arguments. As Marcus Aurelius recommends, we can create genuine connections and open the door to a more fruitful conversation by acknowledging the other person's sentiments and validating their experiences. Here's how you develop this superpower of Stoicism. Change the perspective from me to them. See the world through their eyes. Try to comprehend the situation from their point of view rather than concentrating just on your own. What life events have influenced their emotions? What insecurities or concerns could be motivating them? This change in perspective encourages empathy and enables you to recognize their distinct reality. Pay attention to the above words. Listen to the words not spoken. It's essential to pay attention to both verbal and non-verbal cues when communicating with others. This includes things like body language, tone of voice, facial expressions, and spoken words. It is vital to comprehend the information being transmitted and react accordingly. These frequently disclose deeper feelings that their words may have obscured. Try to understand while actively listening without passing judgment. Recognize, don't pass judge. Appreciate their emotions rather than their behavior. Even if you disagree with them, let them know you are aware of and sympathetic to their feelings. I understand why this situation is important to you, or it sounds like you're feeling frustrated, are phrases that can significantly increase trust and decrease defensiveness. Look for the hidden pain. Find the source of the disagreement. Anger and irritation are frequently the result of deeper emotional scars. Look into any potential sources of pain, fear, or insecurity for them. A deeper understanding makes it possible to address the underlying cause rather than simply the symptoms. It also builds empathy. Recall that gratitude is not agreement. Walk along with them, not in front of them. Showing empathy does not imply endorsing their behavior or sacrificing your moral principles. It's as simple as recognizing their viewpoint and establishing an environment encouraging sincere dialogue. You can handle the disagreement with dignity and understanding, even if you disagree. You create a bridge of understanding rather than merely a bridge across an abyss of conflict. When you adopt this Stoic concept of empathy, you put yourself in their position to connect rather than pass judgment. And there's hope for actual resolution in that connection, not only for the here and now, but also for how you deal with each other moving forward. So come down from the mountain, reach out, and give the gift of empathy. Together, you might be taken on an unexpected excursion. Number 8. Embrace the art of compromise. Imagine yourself before a massive oak tree, its branches obstinately waving in the breeze. It could take a lot of force to get the oak to bend to your will, which could hurt the tree and you. A more prudent strategy that draws from Stoic philosophy is learning the art of compromise, bending and adapting to find a way for the wind and the oak to coexist peacefully. Hard views and absolutes are rarely conducive to successful conflict resolution. Epictetus states, "Seek not to have things happen as you wish, but rather wish them to happen as they do, and you will live a tranquil life." The ability to discover answers that at least partially meet your problems and those of your opponent is a sign of true power. The following is how you can practice this Stoic art. Change me to we. Reframe the conflict as a cooperative endeavor. See the situation as a chance to devise a solution that works for everyone rather than as a rivalry. This change in viewpoint allows for more harmonious results and innovative approaches to problem solving. Identify common objectives. Look for common ground, even if it appears obscure. Examine your shared goals in the long run and see past the current argument. Maybe you both have the same values: fairness, respect, or a productive working environment. Finding these common objectives lays the groundwork for reaching a compromise. Set priorities and have the will to let go. Only some details matter equally. Only some features of the circumstances are worth dying for. Decide what is most important and be prepared to give in on less important things. This enables you to concentrate on identifying answers that deal with your main issues. Determine the win enough or win-win solution. Look for win-win solutions. Instead of focusing on a win for one party, try to find a solution where all parties feel their requirements are understood and somewhat met. In the long term, this lessens animosity and promotes a feeling of justice. Recall that life is a journey rather than a destination. Patience and flexibility are key. Compromises are rarely a one-time thing. Be ready to review the agreement if something changes or new information becomes available. A durable compromise requires open communication and a readiness to change. Accepting the Stoic art of compromise keeps your demands and principles intact. Instead, you exhibit strength, adaptability, and a dedication to coming up with solutions that work for everyone. You understand how to live in a dynamic equilibrium condition, not resistance, like the wind and the oak, which benefits everyone by bringing about a more tranquil and harmonious end. Number 9. Seek external aid without shame. Picture yourself tangled up in a thicket of thorns, the branches blocking your path as they twist and twirl. No matter how hard you try, advancement feels unattainable. This aggravation frequently resembles the sense of being trapped in a dispute where communication breaks down and a settlement seems impossible. However, the Stoics remind us that we are not alone, even in these situations. The ninth tactic strongly emphasizes asking for outside assistance as evidence of our dedication to forging a positive course of action rather than as a show of weakness. A mediator or counselor, for example, can serve as an impartial third party to help navigate the complex maze of conflict, just as a Stoic philosopher leads their students towards knowledge. They can offer a controlled environment for discussion, guaranteeing that each side is heard and valued. Their knowledge can be helpful. Break through the confusing communication, eliminating the emotional undergrowth. Strong emotions frequently impede our ability to communicate, making it difficult to grasp the viewpoints of others or to explain oneself clearly. By helping to untangle these emotional knots, an impartial third person can foster a more relaxed and productive conversational atmosphere.
Knowing who you are. Knowing who you are. Being able to answer this question, who am I? And what do I want? You know, many times when I go out of the country, I am baffled by that question. To explain what is your occupation. I've stood there for 10 minutes. Well, am I a talk show host? Well, I'm more than a talk show host. Am I a businesswoman? I'm a businesswoman. I'm more than a businesswoman. Am I an entrepreneur? I'm more than an entrepreneur. So I just leave it blank or self-employed. So I'm not asking for the roles that you play as daughters. I'm not asking that question. What are the roles that you play as a daughter, as a friend, as a sister? You're going to be a lawyer, you're going to teach, you're going to be a pharmacist. I'm asking the bigger question of who am I? Who am I really? My answer is I am God's child. I am that which is born of all that is. I am, as Pierre de Chardin said, a spiritual being having a human experience. Come trailing the breath of the ancestors yet, but trailing the breath of the angels. And understanding that because I am connected to the source of all that is possible for me. That's who I am. And what do I want? I don't want to just be successful in the world. I don't want to just make a mark or have a legacy. The answer to that question for me is I want to fulfill the highest, truest expression of myself as a human being. I want to fulfill the promise that the Creator dreamed when He dreamed the cells that made up me. What do I want? You must have some kind of vision for your life. Even if you don't know the plan, you have to have a direction in which you choose to go. I never was the kind of woman who liked to get in a car and just go for a ride. I had a boyfriend who would say, let's just go for a ride. I want to know, where are we going? Do we have a destination? Is there a plan? Or are we just riding? What I've learned is that's a great metaphor for life. You want to be in the driver's seat of your own life, because if you're not, life will drive you. Knowing who you really are in this space and time that we embody. That's number one. What do you want? Who are you? Number two, you must find a way to serve. Martin Luther King said that not everybody can be famous, but everybody can be great because greatness is determined by service. Now, we live in a world where everybody wants to be famous and where we admire people for just being famous. We think being known brings us value. The truth is, all of that will fade in time. The real truth is that service and significance, service and the significance that you bring to your service is that which is lasting. So to be able to, whatever your occupation or job or talent or gift is, our honorees today getting doctorate degrees, to apparently opposite fields, HIV and AIDS and the spoken word. But what they have in common is service, using the spoken word in service to community and the world. Using your knowledge and information about HIV and AIDS and medicine in service to the world. And if you look at all the most successful people in the world, whether they know it or not, they have that paradigm of service. Everybody's talking about Mark Zuckerberg and IPO. Service. Jay-Z rapping. Service. Through the word, to people, through song. For many years, I was really just happy to be on TV, and people would stop and say, "Oh, you on TV?" "Yeah, I'm on TV. I like being on TV. It's a nice job." That I went back and I took a long look at what it was I was doing on TV and made a decision that I was no longer going to just be on TV, but I was going to use TV as a platform, as a force for good, and not be used by TV. And I will tell you, my decision to make that significant change in the way I operated on television, using television as a service, changed my career exponentially. Service through medicine, service through art, using whatever it is you produce, your product, as a way of giving back to the world. When you shift the paradigm of whatever it is you choose to do to service and you bring significance to that, success will, I promise you, follow you. Service and significance equals success. That's number 2. Number 3, it's so simple, but so hard to do. Always do the right thing. Be excellent. People notice. Think of how you notice. You go to Taco Bell, somebody gives you an extra napkin and some sauce. You notice. You want to go back to that person, because even at Taco Bell, excellence shows itself. Be excellent. Let excellence be your brand. Everybody talks about building a brand. I never even knew what that was. When people say, "You're a brand," I would say, "No, I'm just Oprah." What I recognize now is that my choice to, in every way, in every example, in every experience, to do the right thing and the excellent thing is what has created the brand. And what I know is that when you are excellent, you become unforgettable. People remember you. You stand out. Regardless of what it is, you become an unforgettable woman. And that is what we all want. We want to be unforgettable and not forgettable. So doing the right thing, even when nobody knows you're doing the right thing, will always bring the right thing to you. I promise you that. Why? Because the third law of motion is always at work. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That is so true in all of our lives. That's what Newton said. Celia in The Color Purple said it. Everything you even try to do, already done to you. Everything you even try to do to me, already done to you. So you don't have to worry about revenge or getting back at somebody, making sure they pay. You just have to do the right thing. The right thing even when people don't support it. I remember many shows where I never saw. And the reason you didn't see it is because I remember 2010. My team, hardest working team in television, had done this interview with a woman who turns out she was Sunday school teacher that day, and a sex addict at night. They were like, you won't believe it. We got her going out. We got her with the news. We get to show her, and she was willing to show us everything. I sat down with by'umwihariko n'umushinga Gender Matters for Green Tibet. Iyo politike yashyizwemo imbaraga ndetse tubona ko bikenewe koko kuko twasanze harimo gap cyangwa se harimo ikinyuranye n'ibyo twifuza ko dukwiye kugeraho ku bumenyi dutanga. By'umwihariko dutanga ubumenyi bujyanye no kwigisha imyuga itandukanye. Twasanze rero kugira ngo abana bacu babashe kwiga neza ari uko bagomba kuba bari muri environment nziza cyangwa se babungabunzwe neza. Tugomba kubungabunga ubuzima bwabo tubarinda ihohoterwa rishingiye ku gitsina iryo ari ryo ryose.
Muratangira mutwibwira hanyuma tumaze kurebera hamwe iki twakwita nka politike. Ese iyo mwitegereje nko mu bigo by'abasereziyani mubona ko iyi politike ari ingirakamaro cyangwa se ikwiye, mubibona mute?
Murakoze cyane. Amazina yanjye ni Fratiri Patrick Nigurirwa, abankorera ubutumwa muri communauté yo mu Gatenga. Iyi politike ishinzwe kurwanya ihohoterwa rishingiye ku gitsina tuyibona nka politike y'ingirakamaro cyane cyane mu bigo byacu by'amashuri y'imyuga n'ubumenyingiro, kubera yuko dufite umubare munini w'abana b'abangavu ndetse n'ingimbi, ariko utaretse natwe barezi kuko natwe turi mu myaka yo hejuru, ariko dushobora kuba tugomba kugira ubwo bumenyi bujyanye no guhangana iri hohoterwa rishingiye ku gitsina, tubungabunga abana turera kandi natwe ubwacu kwirinda kugira ngo tube tutateza ari twe ubwacu izo ngaruka mbi zishingiye mu kudaha agaciro iryo reme ry'umwana w'umukobwa ndetse n'umuhungu.
Murakoze, nitwa Irankunda Ani, nkaba ndi umwarimu hano muri Don Bosco Technical School Gatenga, nkaba nigisha amashanyarazi. Aya mahugurwa muri politike byari bikenewe cyane ko byagiye kutwibutsa inshingano zacu. Twebwe abarimu duhura n'abanyeshuri, hari n'ubwo ushaka kwegera n'umunyeshuri utazi ko ushobora kuba byakuberamo imbogamizi cyangwa byakuberamo ingaruka mbi, ariko ubu ngubu tukabimenye yuko bitemewe.
Aya mahugurwa tujya kuyatekereza nk'uko nabibasobanuriye ku bufatanye n'umushinga wa Gender Matters for Green Tibet. Habayeho ubushakashatsi, hagaragara ko harimo ikinyuranyo cyangwa se harimo gap ku bijyanye no kubungabunga abana bacu tubera mu bigo bya Don Bosco. twasanze rero iyo politiki ikwiriye kugira ngo ishyirwemo imbaraga ndetse izo mbaraga zibashe gutuma abana bacu babungabungwa neza. Rero iyo politiki yizweho hahereye ku bushakashatsi ndetse iza kuganirwaho dushingiye ku mitekerereze cyangwa se ku buyobozi bw'igihugu cyacu uko kibyifuza, tubihuza n'indangagaciro z'ibigo bya Don Bosco mu gihugu cyacu. Uyu mushinga wa Gender Matters for Green TVET urimo urakorana n'ikigo cya Don Bosco Gatenga TSS ndetse n'ikigo cya Don Bosco Muhazi. I Bugande nabo bikorana na Parabec, Don Bosco Bombo ndetse na Don Bosco Kaburi. Twasanze rero tugomba kubihuza kugira ngo dukomeze gutanga ubumenyi bwiza bwimbitse kandi bufite umumaro abana bacu, tubabungabunga mu buzima ndetse n'igihe bazaba bashoje kwiga. Ariko ntabwo turaba abanyeshuri gusa, iyi politiki irareba n'abakozi, irareba abantu bose baza badusanga mu kigo cyacu, abafatanyabikorwa, abahagarariye ababyeyi, abasinyana amasezerano natwe ndetse na kominote muri rusange ituye hafi y'ikigo. Tuzafatanya kuyishyira mu bikorwa ndetse tutirengagije no gukorana n'abafatanyabikorwa n'inzego z'ubuyobozi muri rusange, kandi twizeye ko bizadufasha ko turerera muri environnement nziza ifite umutekano, tubihuje n'indangagaciro z'abasalesiani dusanganywe ndetse tukabihuza n'ubumenyi ngiro dutanga kugira ngo tubashe guha abana ireme ry'uburezi rihagije ririmo uburere n'ubumenyi bukwiriye, bazaba abayobozi beza b'ejo hazaza kandi bature mu muryango batekanye.
Abahawe uyu munsi amahugurwa ni bantu ki?
Uyu munsi rero twifuje gutangirira guha amahugurwa ku barezi muri rusange, abayobozi b'ikigo ndetse n'abahagarariye abandi ku rwego rw'ubuyobozi muri iki kigo cyacu, ni ukuvuga ni staff, teachers and management. Bishimye cyane, bagaragaje ko byari bikenewe ndetse banasinye iyo politiki, biyemeza kuyishyira mu bikorwa twese dufatanyije, nk'uko insanganyamatsiko iri kuri bandero ivuga ngo gukumira ihohoterwa rishingiye ku gitsina ni inshingano ya buri wese, ni inshingano yanjye, ni inshingano yawe, ni inshingano y'uriya, ni inshingano ya twese nidufatanya tuzabasha kubungabunga ubuzima bwacu, dukorere muri miliyo nziza, dukorere ahantu hazima hazira ihohoterwa rishingiye ku gitsina ndetse n'abana bacu babeho neza. Muri rusange impamvu ni uko politiki yo kurwanya ihohoterwa rishingiye ku gitsina mu kigo cy'abasalesiani ba Don Bosco gikorana by'umwihariko n'umushinga Gender Matters for Green TVET. Iyo politiki yashyizwemo imbaraga ndetse tubona ko bikenewe koko, kuko twasanze harimo gap cyangwa se harimo ikinyuranye n'ibyo twifuza ko dukwiye kugeraho ku bumenyi dutanga. By'umwihariko dutanga ubumenyi bujyanye no kwigisha imyuga itandukanye. Twasanze rero kugira ngo abana bacu babashe kwiga neza ari uko bagomba kuba bari muri environnement nziza cyangwa se babungabunzwe neza. Tugomba kubungabunga ubuzima bwabo tubarinda ihohoterwa rishingiye ku gitsina iryo ari ryo ryose.
Muratangira mutwibwira, hanyuma tumaze kurebera hamwe iki twakwita nka politike. Ese iyo mwitegereje nko mu bigo by'abasalesiani mubona ko iyi politiki ari ingirakamaro cyangwa se ikwiye, mubibona mute?
Murakoze cyane. Amazina yanjye ni Fratiri Patrick Ntigurirwa, abankorera ubutumwa muri kominote yo mu Gatenga. Iyi politike ishinzwe kurwanya ihohoterwa tuyibona nka politike y'ingirakamaro cyane cyane mu bigo byacu by'amashuri y'imyuga n'ubumenyingiro, kubera yuko dufite umubare munini w'abana b'abangavu ndetse n'ingimbi, ariko utaretse natwe barezi, kuko natwe turi mu myaka yo hejuru, ariko dushobora kuba tugomba kugira ubwo bumenyi mu bijyanye no guhangana iri hohoterwa rishingiye ku gitsina, tubungabunga abana turera kandi natwe ubwacu kwirinda kugira ngo tube tutateza ari twe ubwacu izo ngaruka mbi zishingiye mu kudaha agaciro iryo reme ry'umwana w'umukobwa ndetse n'umuhungu.
Murakoze, nitwa Irankunda Ani, nkaba ndi umwarimu hano muri Don Bosco Gatenga, nkaba nigisha amashanyarazi. Aya mahugurwa ni politike byari bikenewe cyane ko byagiye kutwibutsa inshingano zacu. Twebwe abarimu duhura n'abanyeshuri, hari n'ubwo ushaka kwegera n'umunyeshuri utazi ko ushobora kuba byakuberamo imbogamizi cyangwa byakuberamo ingaruka mbi, ariko ubu ngubu tukabimenye yuko bitemewe.
Aya mahugurwa tujya kuyatekereza nk'uko nabibasobanuriye ku bufatanye n'umushinga wa Gender Matters for Green TVETs, habayeho ubushakashatsi hagaragara ko harimo ikinyuranyo cyangwa se harimo gap ku bijyanye no kubungabunga abana bacu turera mu bigo bya Don Bosco. Twasanze rero iyo politiki ikwiriye kugira ngo ishyirwemo imbaraga ndetse izo mbaraga zibashe gutuma abana bacu babungabungwa neza. Rero iyo politiki yizweho hahereye ku bushakashatsi ndetse iza kuganirwaho dushingiye ku mitekerereze cyangwa se ku buyobozi bw'igihugu cyacu uko kibyifuza, tubihuza n'indangagaciro z'ibigo bya Don Bosco mu gihugu cyacu. Uyu mushinga wa Gender Matters for Green TVET urimo urakorana n'ikigo cya Don Bosco Gatenga TSS ndetse n'ikigo cya Don Bosco Muhazi. I Bugande nabo bikorana na Parabek, Don Bosco Bombo ndetse na Don Bosco Kaburi. Twasanze rero tugomba kubihuza kugira ngo dukomeze gutanga ubumenyi bwiza bwimbitse kandi bufite umumaro abana bacu, tubabungabunga mu buzima ndetse n'igihe bazaba bashoje kwiga. Ariko ntabwo turaba ku banyeshuri gusa, iyi politiki irareba n'abakozi, irareba abantu bose baza badusanga mu kigo cyacu, abafatanyabikorwa, abahagarariye ababyeyi, abasinyana amasezerano natwe ndetse na kominote muri rusange ituye hafi y'ikigo. Tuzafatanya kuyishyira mu bikorwa ndetse tutirengagije no gukorana n'abafatanyabikorwa n'inzego z'ubuyobozi muri rusange, kandi twizeye ko bizadufasha ko turerera muri environnement nziza ifite umutekano, tubihuje n'indangagaciro z'abasaleziyani dusanganywe ndetse tukabihuza n'ubumenyingiro dutanga kugira ngo tubashe guha abana ireme ry'uburezi rihagije ririmo uburere n'ubumenyi bukwiriye, bazaba abayobozi beza b'ejo hazaza kandi bature ku muryango batekanye.
Abahawe uyu munsi amahugurwa ni bantu ki?
Uyu munsi rero twifuje gutangirira guha amahugurwa ku barezi muri rusange, abayobozi b'ikigo ndetse n'abahagarariye abandi ku rwego rw'ubuyobozi muri iki kigo cyacu, ni ukuvuga ni staff, teachers and management. Bishimye cyane, bagaragaje ko byari bikenewe ndetse banasinye iyo politiki, biyemeza kuyishyira mu bikorwa twese dufatanyije, nk'uko insanganyamatsiko iri kuri bandero ivuga ngo gukumira ihohoterwa rishingiye ku gitsina ni inshingano ya buri wese, ni inshingano yanjye, ni inshingano yawe, ni inshingano y'uriya, ni inshingano ya twese nidufatanya tuzabasha kubungabunga ubuzima bwacu, dukorere muri miliyo nziza, dukorere ahantu hazima hazira ihohoterwa rishingiye ku gitsina ndetse n'abana bacu babeho neza. Muri rusange impamvu ni uko politiki yo kurwanya ihohoterwa rishingiye ku gitsina mu kigo cy'abasaleziyani ba Don Bosco gikorana by'umwihariko n'umushinga Gender Matters for Green TVET. Iyo politiki yashyizwemo imbaraga ndetse tubona ko bikenewe koko, kuko twasanze harimo gap cyangwa se harimo ikinyuranye n'ibyo twifuza ko dukwiye kugeraho ku bumenyi dutanga. By'umwihariko dutanga ubumenyi bujyanye no kwigisha imyuga itandukanye. Twasanze rero kugira ngo abana bacu babashe kwiga neza ari uko bagomba kuba bari muri environnement nziza cyangwa se babungabunzwe neza. Tugomba kubungabunga ubuzima bwabo tubarinda ihohoterwa rishingiye ku gitsina iryo ari ryo ryose.
Muratangira mutwibwira, hanyuma tumaze kurebera hamwe iki twakwita nka politike. Ese iyo mwitegereje nko mu bigo by'abasaleziyani mubona ko iyi politiki ari ingirakamaro cyangwa se ikwiye, mubibona mute?
Murakoze cyane. Amazina yanjye ni Fratiri Patrick Nigurirwa, abankorera ubutumwa muri kominote yo mu Gatenga. Iyi politike ishinzwe kurwanya ihohoterwa rishingiye ku gitsina tuyibona nka politike y'ingirakamaro cyane cyane mu bigo byacu by'amashuri y'imyuga n'ubumenyingiro, kubera yuko dufite umubare munini w'abana b'abangavu ndetse n'ingimbi, ariko utaretse natwe barezi, kuko natwe turi mu myaka yo hejuru, ariko dushobora kuba tugomba kugira ubwo bumenyi mu bijyanye no guhangana iri hohoterwa
Navigating through the hustle and bustle of everyday life, but without the gift of sight. A daunting challenge, isn't it? Now think about the visually impaired individuals in Rwanda. How do they tackle this challenge every day? How do they navigate through the complexities of their surroundings? The answer is simple yet profound: the white cane. This slender, unassuming tool is a beacon of independence for those without the gift of sight. It serves as an extension of their senses, guiding them through the obstacles of the world. However, the journey to independence is not merely about possessing a white cane. It's about the empowerment that comes from knowing how it is an important tool for the holders, and the confidence that springs from its usage. The path to ensuring this right is through the availability of the white cane for the visually impaired, ensuring that a visually impaired person is supported in the face of obstacles where he or she passes. By recognizing the importance of the white cane, we can open doors to a world of independence and dignity. We can transform a simple tool into a powerful means of navigation. But the journey doesn't end here. The white cane is not just a tool, it's a right that every visually impaired individual in Rwanda should be guaranteed. It's not just about inclusivity, it's about ensuring that every individual, regardless of their abilities, can fully participate and thrive in society. The white cane is a beacon of hope, a symbol of independence, and a fundamental right for visually impaired individuals in Rwanda. With the right support, education, and training, we can transform lives and create a society where everyone can navigate their world with confidence and dignity. Remember, it's not just about the cane, it's about the freedom it represents. Imagine, if you will, navigating through the hustle and bustle of everyday life, but without the gift of sight. A daunting challenge, isn't it? Now think about the visually impaired individuals in Rwanda. How do they tackle this challenge every day? How do they navigate through the complexities of their surroundings? The answer is simple yet profound: the white cane. This slender, unassuming tool is a beacon of independence for those without the gift of sight. It serves as an extension of their senses, guiding them through the obstacles of the world. However, the journey to independence is not merely about possessing a white cane. It's about the empowerment that comes from knowing how it is an important tool for the holders, and
Why is environmental conservation and sustainable development of such paramount importance in our world today? Picture a nation, Rwanda, taking strides to answer this question with a commitment as vast as the canopy of a forest. In the upcoming 2023 to 2024 tree planting season, Rwanda has pledged to plant over 63 million trees. This is not just a number, it's a testament to Rwanda's dedication to becoming a green and climate-resilient nation. It's a testament to a future where our Earth breathes better, where every leaf is a step towards combating climate change, and every root a stronghold preserving biodiversity. Now imagine the power of partnership. Rwanda has joined forces with the International Union for Conservation of Nature, known as the IUCN. This alliance between a nation and an international organization paints a picture of unity and shared responsibility. It's a partnership that goes beyond borders, recognizing that our Earth is a shared home, and its protection is a shared duty. The collaboration between Rwanda and the IUCN is not just about planting trees. It's about planting seeds of hope for a sustainable future. It's about understanding that each tree stands as a beacon of resilience against climate change. Each tree is a symbol of commitment towards preserving biodiversity. Rwanda's tree planting initiative is a reminder that environmental conservation is not just about preserving what we have, but about growing what we can. It's about understanding that sustainability is not just about survival, but about thriving. It's about recognizing that every tree planted is a step towards a future where nature and mankind coexist in harmony. To sum it up, Rwanda's commitment to plant over 63 million trees and its partnership with the IUCN is a powerful narrative of environmental conservation. It's an inspiring example of how a nation can contribute to global efforts in combating climate change and preserving biodiversity. It's a testament to the power of collective action and shared responsibility. So, as we look towards the future, let us remember the importance of environmental conservation. Let us remember that every tree planted is a pledge to the earth, a promise to future generations. Let us remember that every step towards sustainability is a step towards a better, greener, and more resilient world.
Trees are the lungs of our planet, provide us with fresh air, control erosion, protect our water resources, prevent disasters, play a role in food security, enhance greening, and the beauty of our landscape. It conserves biodiversity and contributes significantly to our economy.
lala siliwi imana igiye mutese nkubwiza ukuri uzampugure